I'm a Raider, Oakland Raider, from the Bay to LA to Las Vegas.
Just
I'm
win,
a
baby.
player, a boss player. And if you with me, pop your collar, shake them haters. I'm a Raider, Oakland Raider, from the Bay to LA to Las Vegas. Cause I'm a player, boss player. And if you with me, pop your collar, shake them haters. I'm a Raider.
What is going on, Real Raiders podcast? We are back to give you all your silver and black news. I'm your host, Victor Freeze, along with the one and only
Mariano.
And it's been an amazing week one of free agency. And that's what we're here to recap and give you all the news up to date, up to this day. We got some signings this day too. So we're gonna, in case you missed them, there's a long list. I didn't even realize how long this list was till I sent it to Mariano. There's a long list of free agents that we got to recap for you guys and let you know what we think their roles will be on this team. And then we got some news and notes this week that we're going to touch on. It's not that long. Obviously, it's going to be rumors on a lot of players to the Raiders and such. But yeah, that's all we got on the schedule for today. Mariano, you want to kick it off, the news and notes?
Yeah, so of course we got to talk about this big blockbuster trade. We acquired Davante Adams, which everybody and their mamas know by now. Not long before that, we also signed a man by the name of Chandler Jones, who was my number 4 free agent. If you see,
you're jumping the gun a little bit.
What are you talking about?
That's the next segment. We're reviewing the free agents, but
it's the same thing, bro. It's free agency. When did we acquire him, Vic?
Yeah, I know.
In free agency.
But I'm talking about the rumors right now. We're talking about, these names right here. The quarterback that signed with another team today. These guys right here.
Oh, man. Okay, go ahead, Vic. Go ahead.
All right, I'll let Mariano kick off the free agency. But I'll start with the rumors. We know Trevor Siemian came into the building today. He is potential backup quarterback for Derek Carr, right? The quarterback market, backup quarterback market is pretty thin right now. Mm-hmm. He would have been decent. We needed a quarterback because right now we just have Garrett Gilbert on the squad, which he isn't too promising. But he signed with the Bears already, I believe. So there goes Trevor Siemian, and we're still on the hunt for a backup quarterback. And the next thing is Stefan Gilmore. That's a big name amongst the nation, right? There's rumors that there's been an offer. Well, not rumors. There's been, information said that a deal was presented to Stefan Gilmore. But as Mariano, you said earlier, he wants the bag. So
yeah.
Rumors are that the Chiefs, now that they have money, they're kind of go after Stefan Gilmore too. We'll see. There was also another bogus rumor, put out there that Stefan Gilmore is waiting for the Honey Badger to sign with us too, which I don't think that's true. I think that's just made up stuff.
I agree.
But, apparently the Raiders are one of the front runners. I don't know how big that offer is that's on the table. What do you think about Stefan Gilmore?
I kind of feel like we're set right now with the players that we've already gone with. Obviously, if they sign him, I mean, that's awesome, right? He's a proven all-pro player in this league. For a long time, he was one of the best corners. So obviously, if we sign him, I'm not going to be upset. But the additions that we made in the cornerback room, I'm really pleased with at the moment to add to the talent that we already have in this building. So I could go either way on it, honestly. If they sign him, great. If not, cool. I think we got the right men in the building as we speak to win some games this year.
Yeah, definitely. But Stefan Gilmore on the team, I think that puts the writing on the wall that Trayvon Mullen would be out the door. I think if we do sign Stefan Gilmore, unfortunately. I don't know. Unless Patrick Graham finds some way to have all three involved.
They made it
Nate Hobbs too.
Well, they've made it very clear that they want to create competition.
Yeah.
Right? So right now you still got Mullins on his rookie deal. He's a cheap cornerback that is talented.
Yeah.
I don't think he would be out the door necessarily. But if they sign Stefan Gilmore, it's going to be a crowded DB room. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
and then the next name, obviously, I just mentioned was Honey Badger. He's been linked to us, but I don't think there's been any talks or anything of that nature.
Yeah.
So, and Honey Badger would want the bag, as me and Mariano talked about this before we started the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Probably somewhere around $18 million. And the way our cap's looking, I think we have like 20 22, 23, something like that. We just had those signings right now that happened today, so it probably went down more.
It
Honey
could
Badger,
be a post-June signing.
oh yeah, that too. Yeah, we get more money then. Honey Badger would be great, but Mariano was saying he don't even look right. We saw the edit that was posted.
Yeah,
it don't even look right. Him being in the silver and black.
yeah, that's the one player that didn't look good in silver and black. I don't know what it was. It just didn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
Don't look right. So just off of that, I don't want him. No, I'm just playing. I mean, look, if they sign him, he's a great talent. He's just going to cost way too much money. From my point of view, with all the money that's been spent so far this free agency, I see it slim to none that we sign a Honey Badger. So.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, if we got Stefan Gilmore and Honey Badger somehow, I think that will like solidifies us to be at the top of the AFC West, like without a doubt, bro. Like personally, I feel like we're gonna fuck with us, bro.
I think we already there, but
I'm saying it solidifies it. You know what I'm saying? And the last one I got here is Brandon Parker got an extension, and the details came out. It is $3 million extension for 1 year. I don't know why they extended his ass, bro, but for some reason
you must see something.
we extended him. I don't know. So we'll see how that plays out. I hope Jermaine Illuminor wins that battle, to be honest with you guys, because I do not want Brandon Parker letting Derek Carr get sacked all season, bro.
Yeah.
All right, Mariano. Now you can finally start the free
Nah, you
agency.
know what? I don't want to now. No. I don't want to. Anyways, we'll kind of get past the Devontae Adams thing. It's the big hot thing. I feel like everyone is kind of talking about it right now. He obviously puts our offense over the top. We know that. So let's talk about a couple other moves that the Raiders have made. Chandler Jones, huge signing. Honestly, me personally, I wish they would have kept Ngakoue too.
Yeah.
It's just he is a 4-3 defensive end, right? He rushes with his hand in the ground. He's done that since he's came into the league, and it just doesn't fit the scheme. As soon as the Chandler Jones stuff hit, I was texting Vic and I told him, look, this just solidifies even more that we're really committing to the 3-4 defense. Now, you also look at these defensive linemen that we've signed, which is Peko, I don't even know how you pronounce it, Kyle Pico, whatever it may be. He is, by the book, a nose tackle, right? Yeah. And then also the other defensive tackle, Bilal Nichols. He is also a nose tackle.
Yeah,
right?
He's pretty good at rushing the quarterback too.
Yeah.
So he got, I think, Moses 5 sacks in one season. Pretty good rotational player. He started the last 2 seasons, I think, all games for the Bears. So that's pretty good. I don't know if he'll be a starter on our team, but who is the starter on our team at this point, you know?
Yeah, that goes back to the open competition deal, you know. I think that this regime is seriously going to come in, and whoever is the best football players that puts the best string of days together throughout training camp and OTAs and all this good stuff, and the best players are going to play.
Yeah.
Hopefully they stay true to that moving forward, you know.
Let me go next.
Go ahead, knock it out.
All right, we're gonna kick it off with Darius Phillips, and
who is that?
He's a cornerback. Came from the Cincinnati Bengals, and we have Anthony Averitt, who came from the Baltimore Ravens.
I like that.
Anthony Averitt was a solid signing. He got sprung into action because of all the injuries they had in their secondary in the Ravens. And the thing about him, he locked down Tyreek Hill last season, right? So he has the ability. He's just inconsistent, right? He's just an inconsistent cornerback. So hopefully, if we get the good side of him most of the time, you know, then we'll be cheering for joy, because he's a great cornerback. He has all the intangibles and everything. Sometimes you just don't see it on the field. You don't see the effort put out on the field. Darius Phillips.
Before you hit that too, I mean, it's clear that with this defense that they're going to be running a lot more man coverage.
Oh yeah, definitely with the signing of Rocky Sin too.
Yeah.
Rocky Sin was top 5 in man press coverage last season with the Colts. So that's a great signing. That's a great return that we got for Yannick Ngakoue. But as you said, when Mariano texted me, I was like, dude, I fucking loved Yannick. Like I told you,
just his attitude, he
was like a Raider, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
But at least you got a good haul in Chandler Jones. He's had no less than 10 sacks every season, so he fits the scheme and everything. So I'm not mad at it. Just went a little bit older. But however, we didn't know if Yannick was going to re-sign with us after he had 1 year left on his contract, so we didn't know which way that was going to go. Right. Where was I going? Darius Phillips. Darius Phillips from the Cincinnati Bengals. He seems like a rotational cornerback, especially we have Rocky Sin, Trayvon Mullen, Nate Hobbs, and Anthony Averitt. Those guys are on the top of the pecking pole, totem pole, whatever you want to call it. I think Darius Phillips is just there to create competition and see where he could get some burn in.
That's right. Yeah, I like that. Jacob Johnson. I mean, you go down the list, man. We've made so many moves. Yeah. Right? There's a ton of moves. Jacob Johnson, as we all know, we got rid of Alec Ingold. He signed for that money over in Miami. He wasn't getting 7. He got 7.5 total, right? Yeah, which is big money for a fullback. I think he's the second highest paid fullback in the league. Yeah. Behind the Niners dude, Juszczyk. Yeah. But
he's more of a blocker. He's just straight block. He's bigger. He doesn't catch the ball that much. And this was like writing on the wall as soon as we didn't re-sign Alec Ingold when he was available. It was like, all right, that just makes too much sense. Right. That's what the Patriots last season. We needed a fullback, bing boom, there you go. And also another Patriots running back that we did sign was Brandon Bolden.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, he's gonna be he's gonna spell Josh Jacobs, right? He's a big body running back, and he's gonna tire out the defenses late in the game. Fresh legs, big body running back,
someone that knows the system, right? So like players that come in. I mean, look what Casey Hayward did last year for our defense. Right? He came in and helped assist other players that know the system. He can help other players learn the system. So in my opinion, that was a huge signing.
And then we signed another running back, Amir Abdullah.
Yeah.
And
more like a scat back type running back,
that pass catching back.
Yeah, that could catch the ball out of the backfield.
And we know what they did with James White over in New England, so he fits kind of that mold. I don't know how. I'm not saying he's James White, but
sounds like it, man. I mean, you might want to pump the brakes a little bit.
Let me use my favorite word. He has the intangibles to be a James White type of player for this Raiders offense, or the West Coast Patriots.
West Coast Patriots. You know what? Q said this on the radio today, which is Raider Nation Radio. Shout outs to the big boys while we looking up at them. Right? He said that Ziegler isn't really he's not making Patriot like moves at all.
Oh yeah, I mean the Devontae splash was like
that's something the Patriots would
never
do. Yeah,
like Randy Moss, but that was like
they got it for dirt cheap. Yeah, they gave up like a fucking 5th round pick or something stupid like that, thing. Right? Yeah. So it's interesting. I think that this new regime has came in and they've looked at it and they do have Patriot ties, but at the end of the day, Bill Belichick is end all be all, right? He's got to give the thumbs up to do it or not do it. And I think now that they're getting their opportunity, they're saying this is how we're going to rock and this is how we're going to do it. I've said this before, and I think Josh McDaniels really took a different approach, a different angle this time when he took over the Raiders. Because obviously he's got input as well, right? His input is and his influence is major on what Ziegler is trying to do. But ultimately, I like what they're doing. They're putting their fingerprints all over this team. And you see it with all these moves, these free agent signings. I'm going to hit one real quick, Vic.
Yep, go for
this
it.
Is probably my favorite one, and it's Jayon Brown, who just signed with us today. This dude's a fucking stud, man. He was a high draft pick, and he's he's coming from Tennessee, and Tennessee's had a solid defense for how many years now? Since Vrabel's taken over. I know that for a fact.
They got some liabilities, but their linebackers I know have been solid since Vrabel's have been there. Obviously, because Vrabel played linebacker.
Because he was a linebacker, yeah. What I like about Jayon Brown is he can play downhill and he can also cover.
He's great
in the pass. Yeah. So ultimately, I don't know where things are gonna go with our Pro Bowl linebacker from last year. He'll probably still be on the field.
Yeah,
Denzel Perryman. But I love this signing. This one was huge for me.
Yeah, that was a solid signing. Next, we added to the wide receiver room with Mac Hollins and Demarcus Robinson. Demarcus Robinson, you get a little field stretcher. Didn't do too much with Kansas City, and anyone outside of Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill didn't do too much with Kansas City. And then we got Mac Hollins from the Dolphins, pretty much a special teams player. But if you guys do remember, he is the one that caught the pass when Arden Key got the face mask on Fitzgerald. He's the one.
Yep. He's the Fitz magic.
Yeah, he's the one who caught that pass and beat us that year. These guys are a special teamer and probably wide receiver 4 or 5 on our roster right now. So I think we filled out the rest of our wide receiver core right there. We got Alex Bars, who is not a starting lineman, and that's kind of worrying me. We did mention the re-signing of Brandon Parker and Jermaine Illuminor. This guy's a depth piece just in case anything happens. We know that shit happens with our offensive line all the time.
Right.
So this guy, you could throw him anywhere on the line, and you'll have a decent starter, but it's nowhere near, a starting caliber player, if that makes sense in the terms that I just put it.
Right.
It could be a little confusing. You want to hit him with another one, Mariano?
Yeah. We got for what looks like to be our backup quarterback in Garrett Gilbert. So we'll see. Like I told Vic earlier today, if DC goes down, we're fucked anyway. Whether we got Trevor Siemian or we got Garrett Gilbert.
Yeah, like the Marcus Mariota was like the best situation we could have had.
Yeah, or Jameis is a starter now.
Yeah.
So he was a backup for Drew Brees.
Baker Mayfield, come on. You ain't got nowhere to say.
Right. What are they going to do with him, right? They're going to have to sell him for pennies.
Come on, Baker.
Even Jimmy G.
Jimmy G wants the bag, though. That boy's making 25 this year. He's not going to sign nowhere else for 7
to
6.
Be a backup again. Yeah. They're talking about the young buck over with the Niners is going to be Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're saying that he's projected to be the starter, or he's preparing or something like that to be the starter.
When they lost that championship game that they were in, he was on the podium talking about, thank you, Niner Empire, whoop-de-whoop. Jimmy G already knew it's Trey time. So,
well, Jimmy G fucked up, and we're going off on a tangent right now. But he fucked up making and I don't know if you can make this public or decide to keep this private, but getting surgery on a shoulder that he had or something like that.
Yeah.
That was terrible timing, man. You wait till it was a month or 2 after the season was already over.
Yeah.
To get surgery, that shit don't make no sense, man. You want your stock to be high when all this shit is popping off, right? So I think that really turned them off, and now it seems like the Niners are fucked.
Yeah, there's literally
no one wants him.
I was talking to D-Boy. He said there was 3 teams. I told him there's 3 teams: the Texans, the Seahawks, and the Panthers. Right, those are the teams that need quarterbacks.
Right.
Panthers, he already rejected a trade to the Panthers.
Right.
They offered 2 second-round picks or something of that nature. So it's the Texans or the Seahawks. Seahawks interdivision trade.
Yeah, that's never gonna
happen. So it's the Texans at this point is the only destination for Jimmy G. But are the Texans really gonna give up any capital?
Right,
they're rebuilding.
They're almost in the same predicament as the Browns.
Yeah.
With Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? No one. They had their chance. They should have got rid of his ass as quick as they can.
No,
as soon as he requested that, boom.
Yeah, just
let him go. You signed Deshaun, and then
waited too far into the season. That week after that
Yeah.
That championship game, he should have been traded already.
And the Niners are fucking up too because they're allocating so much of that money. He's making $25 million a year.
I think they could cut him though, and they don't get no hit. Don't quote me on that. I'm not Niners. I learned everything from D-Boy. So
sure.
One of my closest friends, he's a Niner fan, so I just get all my information from him. Yeah. But from what I think is that they could cut him and not get a cap hit. But don't quote me on that. This isn't a Niners podcast.
Right. I mean, either way, they're fucked, man. You let him walk. You let a quarterback walk. That's either a really good backup quarterback or, I mean, you got all that money tied up in the quarterback room when this is when you're supposed to flourish, right?
Yeah.
Like KC, they did it with Pat Mahomes when he was on his rookie deal. They sent Alex Smith out of town. They were able to allocate funds to other positions like D Ford and whoever else they had.
Yeah.
At the moment, Tyrann Mathieu, when they gave him the bag. Mm-hmm. So right now, I mean, odds are kind of slim for us at backup quarterback. Like, who you really gonna sign, man? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't even think of. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Like
Big Ben, come out of retirement. All you gotta do is chill on the sidelines on the weekends, just in case DC gets hurt. I mean, I think that would be better than nothing.
Yeah,
or better than Garrett Gilbert.
Yeah, you know? For sure. Garrett Gilbert's so uninspiring. Like, that name just sounds like a nerd name too, but like, he just can't get it done.
For sure.
Moving on to the next couple signings I got here. We got Michael Kaiser and Kyler Fackrell. Right?
Fackrell.
Kaiser comes from the Rams. He's a special teamer. And Fackrell, he comes from the Chargers, and he's an edge rusher. Yeah. Outside linebacker type. Fits a 3-4 scheme, Mm-hmm. See if you see a theme here. His best season was 10 sacks, but that was a while ago. So I don't know if we're going to get that kind of production out of him. Probably just a rotational edge player, Look for more Malcolm Kuntz, really, to be our main rotational, though, because that guy has some potential.
He's got some potential. I'm excited about him a lot. And maybe that's why they decided to get rid of Yannick, too.
Maybe, yeah, that could factor into it.
Because the few snaps, for the limited amount of snaps that he was playing, he had production, man.
I think he got off of 10 snaps, he got 2 sacks.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And he was putting pressure on the quarterback. I mean, I like that. I like that dude a lot.
Yeah, he's going to be great in this rotation for sure. And then we signed a tight end, Mariano. You want to hit him with that or what?
Jacob Hollister?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so Jacob Hollister is just going to be a rotational piece, I think.
Yeah,
we still got...
My bad, go.
Do we still got Foster?
We still got Foster.
We still got Foster. We still got Waller.
And Bowers. We have Bowers still, too.
Yeah, Bowers. I don't know how many 3 tight end sets we're going to have. But
Patriots like running a lot of heavy sets, so yeah. I think probably that's why we got... to be honest, he might stay on the roster. I wouldn't think it's wild to keep 4 tight ends, especially with the way McDaniels would run a lot of heavy sets.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Last one I got here is Vernon Butler. The most games he's played in a season is 9. This is another rotational defensive piece. He's a defensive tackle. Mm-hmm. It's just leading a lot of question marks. Hopefully with that 3rd round pick, we do get a defensive tackle.
Yeah, he's a 1st round pick.
Yeah.
Former 1st round pick. Whatever that means.
But has he lived up to it? And then we got one more on the board. We signed a safety today, Mario. You want to hit him with it?
Yeah, Daron Harmon, former Patriot. I like to relive their Patriot days because those are usually their best days.
The glory days.
The glory days.
Yeah.
He also played with Detroit in Atlanta. He gets his hand on the football. It's clear that Patrick Graham's going to want to run a 2-high safety, and I don't really know what that does with Abram. And I wouldn't be surprised if Abram's lining up at linebacker this year, bro. Honestly. Yeah. I think that that very well might be an option. He's got speed. He can hit. He can tackle. Can move downfield. And I would assume that he could play the center of the field.
Yeah.
Not center high. I mean,
the middle
zone. Yeah.
I don't know who it was.
Hook to curl, like they say in football.
I don't know who it was. It was either the Raiders Report or Sanji. Either way, shout out to both channels. Where was I going with this? Hold on, I just lost my train of thought.
I have no idea.
I just lost my train of thought.
Talking about John Abrams?
No. Patrick Graham's defense, right? Mm-hmm. They said that he plays a lot of, not a lot, but around 20%, 3 safety looks, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to think. We obviously signed a safety today. We have Morig.
Abram as of now.
Abram could fit there, or I was thinking Tyler Gillespie. I
liked coming out of college.
I like the way he looked on film.
Yeah,
he looked solid as a player on film. So I'm just curious to see how this defense forms. With all these players that we signed and everything, and the defensive tackle position is like literally the only position I'm like worried about right now though on our defense. But there's a lot of people who are going to get burned in training camp and all that. Hopefully solidify something. Hopefully we get a Darius Phillips or something out of one of these guys, get some production like that.
Yeah, I mean, they got bodies there, We're not going to find anyone like Aaron Donald or nothing.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? That man ain't just walking around on the street, but it seems like they're going to try to get a defensive line rotation kind of going, just like Gus Bradley did this past season, especially with all the defensive linemen that they've signed.
Yeah, but at least we had like Quinton Jefferson. What was the other brother's name? The one that was just like...
Solomon Thomas?
No, he was cool too. But
he had a good season.
The starter. He was,
Jonathan Hankins?
Yeah.
Jonathan
the run
Hankins?
stuffer.
Yeah, the run stuffer.
The run stuffer. Yeah, like those were like those two guys you knew were the starter though. Like right now, I can't. Like if you told me who's the starter,
Bilal Nichols.
Probably. He has the most experience out of all these guys.
On a good defense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you got to keep in mind too, like when you run a 3-4, your 3 down linemen are all basically fucking defensive tackles.
Yeah.
Defensive tackles, because the right end and the left end are typically their builds are around 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Right. Versus in a 4-3, your defensive ends, they're a lot lighter, slimmer, and they line up a lot wider. Mm-hmm. So ultimately, we're gonna see, man. It's gonna be interesting. Where is Max Crosby gonna line up? Is he gonna be in a 2-point stance, 3-point stance? Are they gonna be multiple and run the 4-3? I mean, I don't know. We don't know these questions.
Graham says he does want to run multiple. But I mean, everything we're seeing is a lot of 3-4 heavy, though, right?
Absolutely.
The writing on the wall, right?
It's clear with the body types that they have signed, that the Raiders have signed, that we're clearly going to run a 3-4 defense this year.
He said he's going to put Max in a position to win, to do great. So
we'll see.
Patrick Graham, I have faith in you. Please don't fail me.
What he says and the scheme he runs contradict each other right now. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. I mean, I think he's going to try to run Max out of a 2-point stance or rush Max out of a 2-point stance. He has to, right?
Yeah, for sure.
He has to.
And then Mariano, you wanted to end it off with some bold predictions for the season, so let's cap off this episode.
I wouldn't say bold, man. Relax, chill. All right. I said.
All right, some predictions for this season.
Predictions for this upcoming season after the moves that we've made. Mm-hmm. Right. So my first prediction is that DC will throw for career high touchdowns and yards. What you think about that, Vic?
The addition of Devontae Adams definitely gives us he has a trustworthy target, just like when he had Michael Crabtree and you see him do numbers with Michael Crabtree, right? Michael Crabtree, he would throw it to him anywhere,
this is the
bro.
First dominant wideout DC has had.
And it just goes to show you the caliber, because Michael Crabtree is nowhere Devontae Adams, but imagine how much better.
You think that's the closest person that we've had?
Amari Cooper, but Amari Cooper was
inconsistent,
right?
Yeah.
He was better wide receiver than Michael Crabtree, but Michael Crabtree was honestly
catch everything.
Yeah, he was DC's best receiver, I think.
Yeah.
That he had the connection with and his go-to receiver. Henry Ruggs, he was building a great connection with, and it would have been amazing to see how that panned out, but he fucked all that up.
But honestly, if we had Henry Ruggs right now
and Devontae Adams,
But I don't think that move would even happen.
I mean, we would still have the same, well, depending on how our season went.
I don't think that move would happen. I think that, I don't know. I don't want to get too far down that rabbit
theoretical,
because it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
But I think that if we still had Henry Ruggs and he played the full season, let's just play this little game real quick.
Mm-hmm.
DC, obviously our offense wouldn't have stuttered like it did, and DC probably would have had a career high in touchdowns and yards, right? Because he opened up the whole offense.
For sure.
Once we lost him, it was a wrap. So I think it's going to create that same element with Devontae Adams, even though he's not a burner, but he can run every route in the route tree.
Oh yeah, when
you
run
2 through 9,
when you run
0 through 9.
Yeah, my bad. When you run those routes so crispy, like he does, and like when Renfro does, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Bro.
I mean, you got the 2 coldest route runners in the game,
bro. It'd be
other than Cooper Kupp, you know.
It'd be so like joyful just watching him and like Renfro just run the routes. It's like slow down, and you see just the, you know what I'm saying, when they do the highlights and stuff.
And Adams is so like he's so humble too, right? Like in his presser, he was talking about. Somebody asked him a question about Hunter Renfro, like being able to teach Hunter Renfro, and he said, "Shit, he might be able to teach me a couple things." You know what I mean? Which is true, because Hunter Renfro was dicing fools up this year. You know, when we lost Waller, and Waller was hurt, Henry Ruggs was already gone. We had Deshaun Jackson and Zay Jones lined up at wide receiver. Brian Edwards
can't separate for shit.
Can't separate, right? Which I see a lot of people saying that he's going to get off this year, and I don't know if he's going to see the field.
Yeah.
You know, between the KC Demarcus Robinson touching the field.
At least he could separate. You know?
Yeah.
You know he could separate.
Well, we got a deep threat too. We got some talent, man. Let me tell you. Which leads me to my next prediction. Our red zone offense will be the best improvement that is even on our offense.
Mm-hmm.
I think that with as many times as the Raiders got into field goal range, or red zone, I should say, they did not capitalize.
Yeah, it was one of the most frustrating things on Sundays.
Yeah.
Like, you know, what's up with this play call when we finally get in position?
Daniel Carlson should be buying the whole offense gifts this year, because they're the reason why he got paid last year during the season.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So we don't want to see none of that no more. Hopefully he's riding the bench, and our fucking Pro Bowl punter is too, which is a funny guy. He's a fucking funny dude. Right?
He's like, what's his halftime stats at the Pro Bowl?
Yeah,
like, I mean 2 hot dogs.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Oh man. All right, I got a prediction too. I'm gonna add on to yours.
Okay.
And Raiders finished top 2 in the division.
Top 2.
And I'm not talking about number 2, baby.
That's right. So they finished number 1 in the division.
The Chiefs just let go of Cheetah, you know, and that's the playmaker. There's so many plays at the end of the game where Cheetah gets the ball in his hands, and he either ties the game up or they go ahead because of Cheetah.
Right. 100%.
Travis Kelce, a lot more brackets. You know, they're not really a run team.
Yep.
Juju Smith-Schuster, can he stay healthy the whole season? And Juju's only good when he has a good wide receiver on the opposite side, like Antonio Brown, right?
Yeah, he's a good Robin. He's not a bad man.
Yeah, so I think the Chiefs lose a step this season, right? I don't think they finished number 1 in the division. Chargers, I think, are the biggest threat in the division. However, we know as much as he is a good quarterback, Justin Herbert does have some inconsistency still.
Right.
But you know, they're an aggressive ass team, and when they were good last season, they were good on both sides of the ball. And with these pieces that they added, it's going to be some interesting games against the Chargers. That's all I'll say this season.
Yeah.
We might split that one. I'll say that, but we'll still lead the division.
Yep.
And the Broncos, no weapons.
They're the weakest team in the division. Let's keep it straight. I was keep talking to my Bronco homie earlier today, and I was just talking hella shit. I was like, look, man, first of all, Russell Wilson's washed. Second of all, he ain't got the defense was all right, and Vic Fangio was supposed to be a defensive guru, right? Jerry Jeudy is inconsistent. He's been dropping passes since he got into the league. He can't stay healthy. He was hurt last year.
And then the Broncos' offensive line didn't gave up damn nearly as much sacks as the Seahawks' offensive line.
Right. Who's their running back? Freeman? I mean, they don't cut the noise, man.
Yeah.
That leads me to the Chiefs' demise.
Right? As I touched on a little bit.
You touched on a little bit already. Tyreek Hill was a dynamic part of this offense, and that's no longer here, right? So I don't think they'll fall off the wagon too much, but they'll be in third. I'm predicting it right now. They're gonna finish the division third.
They make the wild card or what, Marino?
It would be a shame if they don't, but ultimately, I just don't think that they're that good of a football team anymore. And keep in mind, they do have probably the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, but, that just goes to show you when you have to start paying an amazing quarterback like that, it just shows what it does to the rest of the team,
You're
triples
limited
on the way down.
Yeah, you're limited. That's why you get like an average, above average quarterback. Like DC. Right? Who can make all the throws and who can potentially have a high touchdown, low interception ratio.
Mm-hmm.
But my third prediction is that the Raiders' offense is going to be the best in the division. It's not too far off, man. I mean, on paper, right? Let's just think about it. Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, DC at quarterback.
Kenyon Drake, too.
Kenyon Drake. We got squad on offense, man.
Yeah.
We got squad. We got weapons, but can they protect? Right?
Well, like Austin Eckler and Keenan Allen, I don't think Mike Williams is a consistent wide receiver threat.
Right.
They don't have a tight end over there either.
Yeah, is Jared Cook still there?
Is he?
Oh man, he's like 40, bro. Come on, man. Give it a break.
The Chiefs just got Travis Kelce, really. It's Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Mecole Hardman,
but he hasn't really put it together either. He has the intangibles to be a Tyreek Hill.
But no, there's no comparison.
So the reason they drafted Mecole Hardman was because he was supposed to replace Tyreek Hill when he had the whole court thing going on, right?
Yeah, but there's no replacing Tyreek Hill, bro. Speed kills.
I'm not saying he was going to replace him. I was saying they were trying to fit the mold.
I understand. I understand what you were saying. Bro.
Yeah.
But that is a huge, huge hit to the Chiefs' offense, for sure. Man. He was the Raider killer, I believe. Because who do you guard?
Yeah.
With Tyreek, who do you guard?
Now you can bracket Kelce way more often.
Exactly. And just play a too high safety. Yeah, I like our odds a lot.
No, yeah, it was like...
That's what made the Devontae Adams trade even better, right?
And it was crazy how much it changes like within the week. Because the first 2 days, Khalil Mack and then Russell Wilson, like, motherfuckers was losing their mind, bro. Yeah. I was like, bro, we ain't doing shit.
You're like, what's going on,
Yeah, bro. But, it's a day-to-day. Shit changes. That's all you can say.
That's right. My last and final prediction, right? The Raiders' defense will be a top 12 overall defense.
Wow, it's the best defense that we've had
since like 02?
Early 2000s.
Early 2000, like 20 years.
Yeah.
Best defense in 2 decades.
Hey, it's not far off to improve from the last 2 defenses we have. Like, Gus Bradley was cool. And then we had some games that skewed the numbers, but like it was mainly a lot of the guys that he brought in that band-aid the defense, to be honest.
Right.
But I definitely think, with Patrick Graham's mind and stuff, because the cover 3, it was honestly beatable by a lot of teams where we've seen that.
Right.
Each week with this new defense.
It was like a bend, don't break defense.
Definitely. And then this new defense, I'm looking forward to more blitzes.
Right.
More how do I say, like smarter schemes and things of that nature.
Right.
To stop other teams. So hopefully we put it together. I think Patrick Graham has the ability and the personnel to do so.
I agree.
That's all you got for us, Mariano?
That's all I got.
That's it for Mariano's predictions. And that is it for this episode, man.
That's right.
It's always great coming on here talking about Raider football. I love it, man. It's like I'm not even doing the show. It's like I'm just here chopping it up with my homie Mariano.
Exactly.
And then we always got to cut ourselves short when we're talking regular. We got to go talk on the pod, you know what I'm saying?
We're like, man, we can't be talking about this right now. We need to be live talking about this.
No, but I appreciate you guys, week in, week out. You guys are messing with the channel, and I'm not even consistent on the channel. You guys are still following. I'm not even posting nothing. Following, likes, and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. It's still be going up. Just the subscribers have been going up too. Recently, I dropped that last video. We went up like a couple of subscribers, so that's cool too. So I appreciate everyone rocking with this channel. I tell you guys this every week. I love you guys. I don't say I love you guys, but I say I fuck with you. Love you. But yeah, thank you for rocking with us, and we'll catch you probably next week.
Next week.
Yeah, we'll catch you next week for sure.
Back.
Yep. All right, appreciate you, Raider Nation. This is the Real Raiders Podcast, and we are out of here.